This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Riffresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad, and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 51 of the It's Time to Refresh podcast. We talk music, we talk music industry, sort of everything really. Today's guest we've got on is Howard B from Elation, and I've now learnt you're involved with Anthem Nation as well. So talked a bit online. First time I met him today. I can give him the seal of approval. He's a decent guy, I think. We'll find out his story now. So, as I start with everyone's, what did you have for tea last night?
Can't even remember, mate. What did I have? I can't even remember. Chicken and chips.
Chicken and chips.
Yeah.
How was your chicken? What was it?
It was alright. Like,
Not a fried or
breaded chicken.
Oh, breaded chicken, right? Nice one.
It was a bit of a just chucked together tea last night. You know what I mean?
Nice and easy. I can't even remember what I had last night, to be honest with you. So there we go. So yeah, just to start things off today, mate. I just ask how you doing in that. Like, what's happening?
I'm alright, mate. Yeah, sound. Spring is here, and yeah.
But so you run the brand Elation and the Old School Nation, Anthem Nation brand. So once we got talking online and I was asking a bit about yourself and stuff like that, seems you've been around a lot longer than I thought. So you were around sort of years ago and as well. So we'll go right back to the beginning with your story. So who's Howard then? How'd you get into the music?
How did I get into the music? Well, growing up, teens, people was into like you'd hear the odd tape. People would have tapes and say, "Oh, lend us that tape" or whatever, and you'd have these tapes. Also, Stu Allen on Key 103.
Right. So, what sort of years are this then? When you hear the tapes, what were the brands?
Probably 90s. Well, I remember getting in infant school. The tape cassette album Technotronic. Do you remember that?
I know
Pump Up the Jam.
Technotronic. Yeah.
I remember getting that and thinking, like, playing it all the time. So that was like
early 90s. That was
early
91.
No,
was it
91?
I think
It must have just been before I went to high school.
Right.
And then it'd be like my mates had an older sister, and he used to get tapes off her. What was it? Arc. Amnesia House.
Right.
What were the ones? Just like proper old rave music, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as the 90s went on, it'd be like people would have Helter Skelter and stuff like that. We used to buy tape packs from Willie Banjos in Preston. Still going that.
Is it?
Honestly, mate, yeah. For the 90s, they sell like bongs and stuff like that, tape packs or whatever. I don't think they sell tape packs anymore, but...
So was it more the happy hardcore when you said Helter Skelter and stuff?
Yeah, and then early 90s, people would have Zone tapes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I always remember hearing Zone tapes and Breezy on it. You know, the roof is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell, this is class. Like, so.
Was that the one with just like? Is that the?
That was the
style?
one, really. That was the style. Yeah. There used to be a lad, Kev, his brother, used to go a lot to Zone.
Yeah.
Then we just missed the venue, really, and.
So in them days, it'd have been still more piano stuff.
Yeah, piano. Going into Italian.
Yeah. Well, I think when they were in the venue, it was still very like piano heavy, and then
Yeah, I think it did go to Italian quite. I don't know
was that the mid-90s?
The mid-90s,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they went to Mill.
Yeah.
We never went to Mill. We're still quite young, like
Yeah.
drinking on streets.
What were you getting the tapes and that? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting the tapes. I always remember that tape. People still listen to this tape today. Venue Volume 5.
Right, yeah. I've got that on the USB in the car.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So we used to listen to all them, and
Were you one of them? Were you one of them kids who, when you say you're drinking on the street and that, were you out with the tunes on and that while you were drinking?
out with the tunes on, yeah.
Was that
Going
Ghetto
to people's
Blaster or
houses,
something?
yeah. We, I'm pretty lucky, me really. Got a group of mates. A few of us went to play school together, went to infant school together, went to primary school, high school,
Been there for a while.
raving scene together,
Yeah.
football scene together, and we're still mates to this day. Do you know what I mean? And we still speak to each other all the time, and
Yeah.
we've gone through it all together. Like, yeah.
So are you from Preston all your life?
I'm from
then?
Preston all my life. Yeah. I don't think I'd move out of Preston, to be honest. I'm quite proud of where I come from. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I grew up in a terraced house. Mum and dad still live in it. Place just down the road, Lane Ends. I went to high school over there. My kids go to that high school. You know, stuff like that. I just
Yeah,
think
you kept it local. Then.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Excellent, mate. So when you grew up on the streets, house parties, etc., there's always been a lingering of the old school and the Italian.
The old school and Italian, yeah, it was always zone, and that style of music was always
Present.
quite big in Preston. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously the Mill came here, and a lot of people went to Venue.
Yeah. So of that time, who was your favourite DJ and MC?
Breezy, Irie, Wizard. Always looked up to like Stu Davis,
Yeah.
who I know to talk to
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, but his mixing and the mixing they put together. You know, the tapes were they were perfect. You know what I mean? Andy Pendle, Chris Baker,
Yeah.
Dave Taylor, and that.
Excellent.
Just proper looked up to them. Do you know? Like,
Yeah. I really, well, growing up, I don't know why, I always leaned, because my dad was a massive Italian head as well, he loved his Italian. When I listened to the tapes, for whatever reason, I always loved Chris Baker's selection of
yeah,
tunes. He was always a
I know what
favourite
you
man as a
mean.
kid.
Yeah. Matt Bell is a big Preston DJ.
Yeah.
He was his own DJ as well. Do you know what I mean? He put out some.
So
Brilliant
were these
early.
the DJs that were inspiring you early on to like get into DJing?
No, not really. I didn't think about DJing really till I started going to Zone.
Right.
98, which it wasn't the first club I went to. The first rave I went to was Ballers in 96.
Not my first rave, is it?
I know, yeah, it was. Mate used to live at a flat on Victoria Parade, National, and there was some older lads there who used to live there.
Yeah.
And I think it was only
You can carry on.
16.
No, you carry on, mate, it's fine.
Yeah,
Just double checking.
Just 16, and they were like, "Oh, come to Ballers if you want."
Yeah.
And because we'd listen to rave music all the time, but we never thought it was old enough. We didn't want to try and get into one. Do you know what I mean? Anyway,
Were you nervous going to a rave like that, thinking you might get knocked
proper
back?
nervous. Yeah,
Yeah.
proper nervous.
I was nervous going into our local town and getting to the local like bar / club. Imagine trying to get into a rave where you're 16 and you're far away from home, and it's like
That's what it's like. Yeah, they was older than us, and they just said like, "Listen, just stick with us, and you should be all right."
So what was that like? Because obviously the good years them to be going to Ballers. What was it like when you walked in there at first? Was a
Well, me and my best mate Banksy,
Yeah.
who went, and I just remember queuing up. I'd always been nervous in that queue later on in years. Like, I was like, and you could always hear, through cladding, be like that, and then went in, and you could hear MC at music, and I was like, massive ballers, and these people who are a lot older than us.
Yeah.
Tops off, white gloves, dancing, do you know what I mean? Bandanas, proper ravers, yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is mental, like, do you know what I mean?
Class. So I remember going to Bowlers for the first time, and when you go through the door and there's like a step down onto the walking in there, and I was just like, wow, this is good. It's like,
that's what I was like exactly there. We walked through there,
and it's like a little drop down bit, isn't there?
And it's just like.
Well, when I first went, I had quite emotional, to be honest with you, because I went and I never thought I'd go to a bounce night there. Never mind go there at all, because when I was growing up, as you said, the live recordings, just when you hear the atmosphere, you hear your whistles and everything, and like on the recording, it's like, I'd love to go there. And then when you're actually there, it's like all them recordings you knew was in that recording that room. It's like it was quite a surreal moment when I was there.
I don't think I've not been to an event at Ballers since. I'm trying to think. 2002, something like that.
2002?
Really, mate, yeah.
Wow.
I've been back. Took my lad to a Star Wars thing there.
Yeah. I was going to go to that.
And I was walking around and I was like, what?
Different, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was going to go to the Stu Allen Memorial last year, but I never got round to it. I feel like it's one of them places where I just think I probably want to leave it. Not leave it past. I love the place, don't get me wrong, but just I'd need to be off my head, I think, to go in there, and that's not what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So
I went. What was the last time I went? The last time I went was 2015, 16.
Yeah, was it? What event was that?
It was even earlier than that. I've just told it must have been 2014, and it was the Mega Rave that they did.
Oh right.
Run by a few different promoters. I think there was a HDID room, Bounce Heaven room, etc. And it was a decent night, to be honest with you. But the best one that I went to, and I felt like everyone in the scene went, was and this is when I thought to myself, like, I never thought I'd see bounce music played in here, and it was.
It's not like that kind of venue, is it?
No,
Go on.
And it was Bounce Heaven. They went all out on the lineup. I mean, I'll get the flyer and I'll drop it in now, and you'll see how big the lineup actually was. So they had the main room, and they had all the big hitters in the main room, and then they had a Spanish room, flew loads of the Spaniards over.
Really? Yeah.
They had like DBC, Pidgey and Pock, Gary Select. It was a heavy room, and then they had like a old school room with put it this way, the VIP.
Have Zone on it?
No, they had it upstairs, and it was like it was an old school room, and there was like all the great DJs you could imagine were on. It's like for the old school, and honestly, it was my favourite rave ever.
Yeah,
it was. Just because I got to see all of the people I wanted to in one night, so it was one of them. But I've never
running
been
around everywhere. Like
I know that they do Zombie Nation there.
Yeah, it looks mint, doesn't it? You
know
what I mean?
And I've never got round to going.
No. They put on a massive event there, like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure they still do life reunions there as well. Is it I'm sure I've seen
it. Did they do one a while ago? Yeah, they did. Just after lockdown, I think they did one.
Yeah.
They was gonna fly Welly over, I think, but he didn't. He couldn't get over something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I think they had Stuart Allen on. And
anyways, back to your story growing up. So you've went to your first rave. Can you remember who was on? Can you remember what tune you had when you walked through?
I can't. No. Who was on? I think Baby Lee was on. He was a Preston DJ. Baby Lee.
I can't say
banjos. I can't remember who was on. No, it was just so long ago.
Yeah.
96. So yeah, we used to go to.
Was it a good night though?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I always remember a mate was dancing, and he was dancing with his eyes because it was his first rave, dancing with his eyes closed. And I was like, "Open your eyes!" And I remember this big glow stick, like massive one, flying across like room, like right up, and I like move. And I thought, have they targeted us? Like start getting a bit paranoid, and obviously they won't have it. We're just one of them, like, you know what I mean? But yeah.
You were going to say something there. Sorry, you used to go to you were saying I interrupted. Sorry, you said about you used to go to an event and then after bowling.
Oh, how was it called? Beginning with C. Compulsion.
Right, yeah. We didn't just pause there.
Yeah. So it was
compulsion.
Compulsion, yeah.
And were they good nights?
That was good. That was when, like, I'm sure that Shooting Star track had just come out.
Right.
Was it 98 or something? And every DJ played it that night.
To be fair, a lot of people don't like that tune.
I love that tune, yeah.
It's cheesy, but it's a
yeah,
banger.
it's class, yeah.
So were them raves good, yeah? Were you enjoying
yeah.
Where were you going to locally then, as you're sort of 16 to 18?
Well, we used to go. Do you remember? Have you ever heard of Feel?
Of where?
Feel, it were called in Preston.
No.
They had it at the UCLan Polytechnic area where 53 Degrees is now.
Yeah.
That's closed down.
Yeah.
And it was like trance and what they had. I'm sure they had Paul Van Dyke on at one point and Carl Cox, and so we used to go there quite a bit. Like,
you're a big trance head as well. Do you like to?
Yeah, I do. I don't really listen to it nowadays, as in
the modern stuff.
The modern stuff.
Yeah.
That
golden era.
That 98, 97 to 2000, them trance tunes what come out then. Yeah. Unbelievable, do you know what I mean?
They're so close to bounce music.
Angel, and it just created some. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so like there was the sort of Euro trance stuff that you would think like sort of Glasgow, Lange, they're them sort of names, and then they sort of done like it went more clublandy for them, for like the artists like Glasgow, Alice DJ and stuff, and then you had like trance which. You had like your Armin van Buuren and people like that who went purist. Yeah. So from that came what we know as our scene now. I think that's what,
like classics to bounce.
Yeah.
I think like For an Angel and Byron Refinery and that.
Classic.
It's I can't. How did they make them tunes? Do you know what I mean? That For an Angel is. It's perfect, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, people don't seem to be able to do that anymore. They don't.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I think a lot of people, it's like we might have touched on this on another podcast before, but you know when you go to places where they're legendary venues and you see your favourite DJ on, and they drop a tune and they see. A producer, for instance, myself, be in the crowd, and I'll say, "Oh, that worked on the dance floor. Yeah. I could make something like that."
Yeah.
So when you hear a clubhead's donk, and it's say it's around the early 2000s, and you're seeing all these, as you say, your trance tunes that you're playing, but then someone brings in, say, "Turn Up the Bass" by Clubheads, and that donk comes in, and they all go nuts for it. That's what's happened, hasn't it? People have like, that works, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
and then
of course it has, yeah.
Spread.
You've got to, I suppose, time's ticking, people won't will make a tune and go, I like this, it's good, but it won't.
Yeah. I've made trance, like late 90s, trance influenced stuff where you hear like, is it a Mario Picotto style, like the... or DJ Quicksilver, like them sort of like sounds, and I've even sampled their kick drums and bass lines and everything, and I've made 3 tracks that you would think they came out in that time period, but they're just sitting on my computer because I know that they're not gonna. If I put them out, they're just gonna just
the people aren't gonna.
Because I know it's a different time and a place, isn't it? Like,
but them
they are great tunes, though.
unbelievable. It's like
The golden era, 100%.
that Miracle what's come out.
Yeah.
That's sort of like a trance tune in it, and I think
I like it. I really
I
like
like it. Yeah, but it's not on a level with For an Angel.
Oh, no. But do you not think, though, that he's purposely stripped that tune back because it's for a simpler crowd now, like the TikTok generation?
Yeah.
He's literally done that when Johnny kicks in and he's got a vocal on.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
made for a clip.
Yeah,
it's not made as a full track. Do you know what I mean?
That's what they do. Probably it was never a thing, was it? And then it was like
we couldn't imagine For an Angel being a clip on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Because it's there's so much to it, and there's so. That's why music was better then.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love all music, mate. My range is massive. Do you know what I mean? But I'll only listen to certain genres at certain times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I won't be listening to old school a week before Annihilation do. I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I need to fill my head with.
Get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
you know
what I mean. But for me though, like because I hope what I've just said didn't come across as like I don't like new music.
Yeah.
It's I'm open minded. If someone said listen to this, I'd listen to the tune and I'd be like, I like it or I don't like it. But nowadays, I think for every 10 tunes that I listen to, I'd maybe only buy one of them. Whereas before, the ratio was maybe a bit higher.
Agreed. Some tunes that
very throwaway.
I listen to and I think that's not me. That's not my style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And other tunes I think that is a bit my style, but it's not quite.
Yeah. I get exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't play it, and sometimes you think I could play it, but I don't think the crowd would.
Appreciate
it.
Yeah. I hear some like hard house tunes, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking very good. And I just think if I played to the bounce night, I just think it'd go. Like it's a shame because it's got everything. If, for instance, because I grew up listening to sort of Crick CDs and stuff like that. Like that was my sort of grown up time, and when you listen to the variation that was in there was like Italian bounce, hard house, trance, everything, and I always thought this could have been a Crick tune. This if it was made then you hear it and it's got that one of them bass lines that you could hear Desire playing or someone like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my head, that's the way I hear it. There's a
because like John and Desire, they play a track. It's like a multi-genre mix, and you know what I mean. And I like that, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's got you don't know what tunes next or what.
Yeah, you're not gonna like when you hear some producers and they do a
just
production
good tunes. Do you know what I mean?
And you can sort of guess what's gonna come next.
Yeah.
Whereas with DJs like that, because they're so fluid in all the different genres, it's like I was buzzing the other week. John was on before me at the It's Time to Refresh event. And he played Lights Go Down tune, Alter Ego. He played that, but then he mixed it into On Your Side, and I'm like, I didn't see that coming. Like, you know what I mean?
That's John,
Yeah, and it's like, but it was the Lights Go Down riff was coming out, and all you heard was On Your Side, boom, right in, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear, really.
Caught you right off guard. It's like
some people,
it's exciting, isn't it?
They don't appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? And
it's very exciting though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You don't know what's coming in next. And
sometimes
John's good at that, do you know what I mean?
If I'm behind him and he's playing, I sometimes purposely won't look at what's on the deck on the other side, just to see. The shock factor.
Just to like.
If I know it's coming, it's a bit less exciting.
Tease it in a bit and think. That's why I like Zone Me.
Yeah.
Back then in late 90s, and only certain DJs had certain tunes. And you knew that certain DJ could drop that tune.
Any moment.
It was all about mixing, and mixing had to be perfect, really.
Yeah. So in your head, right now, when you think of going to say Zone and stuff like that, what sort of tunes do you label with people, certain DJs. Would you go and see a certain DJ because you knew they were going to play a certain tune, for instance? Is there one that was really stick out in your mind?
It's like Chris Baker, Next Train, and then Andy Pendle had that record as well, so he'd play that later on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just knew that might come out.
The excitement of the thrill of my hearing.
And then you go, where's Irie? You'd hear it coming in. And you'd go, and you'd see, like, Irie would get Mike, and you'd be waiting for the recreation of Volume 5. You know what I mean?
Excellent, I like that. So you were going to where were you going to Zone at when you did go?
Maxime's.
Yeah.
We used to go to Maxime's all the time, loads of us from Preston.
Yeah.
My mate...
This was 1999 then, is it?
98.
98. Oh.
Yeah. My mate who lived not far from here, Bry.
Yeah.
His younger brother was in my year, and he would always bring Zone tapes to school and stuff because his brother went to venue.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. And anyway, one weekend, mate Racky, he said, "Do you fancy going to Maxime Zone's on?" And we'd always listen to Zone. Yeah, we'll go.
Did you know what Maxime's was at this point? Yeah.
No.
Oh no.
No, I didn't. Not really. I think I'd heard of it, but not really. Really heard of it. And anyway, we went, and I remember going in and thinking it was like piano first hour or whatever, and I'm thinking this ain't Zone, really. And I knew the piano, but I was like, where's these MCs? I always remember. Do you know what I mean? And then I remember about half an hour in, like, this guy had grabbed my canal. That's MC Irie, that. Do you know? And he started MCing. Yeah. I'm like, fucking hell, it is.
Years ago as well, you couldn't put a name.
No,
well, yeah,
all you heard was
no
these guys.
Like
these guys MC.
Yeah.
On the tapes, you didn't even know who these people were, what they looked like, and it's like. And then Wizard, I think Wizard was on the week after, or the event after when we went. So we started going all the time, and obviously met Debbie D, Phil, my brother and stuff. Met Stephen J there.
Yeah.
He used to come with his missus. Chris Angels.
I don't know Chris.
He's from Burnley. Where do you remember Angels in Burnley?
Yeah, I remember.
I'm sure he changed his name by default to Chris Angels because he loved it that much. Like, but that's his name, Chris Angels. Yeah. He was the first birthday I went to was the 7th birthday.
Right.
So it's
a while ago now. Yeah.
Is it the 32nd birthday today? This year. Yeah, it is. It's the
I've seen the
32nd
flyer,
birthday.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, so we used to meet all these people. Stephen J, before he was even a DJ.
Yeah.
And I always remember these younger lads that was in there.
Yeah.
You know, they're young, right, lads? All right, yeah. See them every week. Sound
regular faces all the time.
Regular faces, and it was Favell, Avi,
right.
John G, and Desire, Sean.
Right.
And they was always young. I was probably young.
Yeah.
But was probably slightly a bit older than them, like, and always got pally with John and Sean.
Yeah.
Desire, like, he come back to Preston a few times on a Sunday.
Yeah.
For Sunday session, you know what I mean?
As it is.
Yeah, we'd not sleep for days and get decks on at like 6 in the morning after Zone. Sometimes we used to go to Monroe's.
Yeah.
After. So Maxime's would finish at 4.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you to this day how I even got there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trek away as well, isn't it, really?
It's in Blackburn, so you'd end up in there like Monroe's, and it's just like, did you ever go?
No, I'm too young for that, mate.
It was just like a social centre or something, and it was just me thinking at the time. I was just thinking, fuck me, it's rough in here. some of the guys, I don't even think they sold beer. Some of the guys in there, they'd have fucking big chains on in there, and you just think, fuck me, gangster or whatever, do you know what I mean? And you walk out at 8 in the morning, and I always remember there was a field next to it, and there'd be cows in there, doing like mooing. And you'd be like, fuck me.
Yeah.
So we used to go to Maxime's. Sometimes we used to go to back to the old school.
Yeah.
And I always used to think, fuck me, they were quite rough. There was like Salford lads in there and that.
Yeah.
With big 10-ounce chains, fucking stripy Lacoste jumpers, trackies, Rockports.
Yeah.
And you always think, fuck me, they're fucking, don't know what their story is, but we had a few scrapes with them, to be honest.
Yeah. So really, that's where you sort of the hub where you met everyone. Really.
Yeah, I remember seeing Gary Hypnotic. I never spoke to Gary Hypnotic there, but they used to do Hypnotic versus Zone, and I used to see Gary Hypnotic, and yeah, do you know what I mean? He's been in the game a long time, man.
Yeah, we've talked about coming on the podcast. I think he's going to come on at some point as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you as you sort of meeting everyone and stuff like that, are you aware that, say, like Desire or John or Stephen G, are you any of these lads, do you know, are DJs yet, or?
No, not really. I knew they spoke about tunes. I knew John had got into DJing. Yeah. I got into DJing myself about 98. My mate gave me some old decks. I couldn't even tell you what they were, mate. They were black, and you could do great spin backs on them. And I started getting tunes from making me a few tunes. Get a few tunes from Melody House in cheap section, you know what I mean? They were selling for stupid money then. What was that other one called? Splash FM, not that other record shop near Funny Girls. There was one there, we used to get tunes. And that's when I started DJing. And I didn't really know Steve was a DJ at the time. When I first started, and then I think he was going to be DJing at Zone.
Right.
You know, I think he put a tape in.
Right.
I nearly put one in once. I did it for ages, and I sat on it for ages. And I wanted to DJ at Zone, but I never did. I was always too fucked, to be honest. And the DJs, it was always pristine mixing.
Yeah.
And I can do a pristine mix, do you know what I mean? But I always liked it, chopping it up a bit and a bit of different style. And I thought, just leave it. You'd end up getting too fucked and end up...
Yeah.
Just leave it as looking up to them and...
You enjoy yourself. Sort
of. Enjoy myself, yeah. I didn't want to put pressure on myself to do it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what came after sort of the Maximes and going to Monroe's era? What was sort of after that?
Well, I remember when we used to go to Maxime's, right? And then Ricky and that started DJing there. I like DJ Ricky. I think he's really good the way he DJs and whatnot. And then they sort of, I don't know where you know it, they all fell out or whatever. Sam White, Stephen J, Ricky and Andy Pendle moved to Crick to make Foreplay.
Yeah.
But we used to go to Zone a few different places as well, like Halifax.
Yeah.
Tramshed, it was Zone versus Live, Pete Monsoon's night.
Right. What was that like? Decent?
That was good, yeah. We used to stop at a hotel and get chucked out and whatnot like that. Yeah, obviously you can't do it every weekend, can you?
No.
I was on session every weekend, all the usual.
You would get on top of you, do you know what I mean? Definitely.
Get on top of it, yeah. I ended up just quieting down a bit. Like still DJing, still having my records and that, but
Yeah.
just got into other stuff a bit where you're not sessioning all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what year was this then?
Well, I'm trying to think back. I was carrying on DJing. I remember was at Bryce, lives up there, Savick, who was a big Zornhead, and Ricky rang him up after don't know when they were doing foreplay, and he said,
Yeah.
Bryce, do you want to come and do a set? Because wherever we went, we always took loads of lads with us, do you know what I mean? So he was a good DJ, Bryce, but he didn't really want to do it in clubs. And he said to Ricky, I would all DJ if you want. Anyway, I knew Ricky from Zone.
Yeah.
We used to call him Hot Dog. Because Bryce used to get him an hot dog after Zone from Hot Dog fucking stand. Hot Dog.
Hot Dog.
So I went to DJ there, yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. I was so nervous, like, you know what I mean? It was called, it was on a Friday night, and it was called Reach for the Sky.
You're right.
And there was Andy Pendle, Ricky, Desire, John G was on.
It's not a bad lineup.
And I was on after John, and I remember him. I've still got the tape in attic. I've not listened to it for years. And I remember him giving me, the nice guy that he is. I was on after him, and after my set, he went, "Yo, mate, there's the tape," and I was like, "Nice one." You know what I mean? So, and I remember I did it a couple of times, and my mates weren't coming, and I'm not coming this week. You know what I mean? I was like, just didn't end up doing it again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I was sort of getting out of the raving scene a bit then. Yeah, not out of it. I loved it. Do you know what I mean? But you can't go out every week. Yeah, getting smashed and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to keep down a job, and
especially if your mates are sort of backing out of it as well.
Yeah. And I do think back to if I'd have gone, then right, I'll knuckle down here with John and Sean, and MCs were Avi and FEZ. Yeah. And I'm sure that were Avi's first night. Right. MCing at Crick. I'm sure he said that to me a while ago. And I've got the tape. I always remember it being a class mix, so I would listen to it and say, fuck me, that is a good mix.
Get it uploaded onto SoundCloud.
I know, Lando, do you know he runs Old School Anthems? Right. I keep meaning to send it to him, but yeah, it's one of them I probably want to just go, I don't know. I'm tempted to listen to it again, but I know, I'll see.
Listen, if he uploads it, right, I'll put it in the comments section below. So have a look now. Yeah. You're going to have to know, I've promised. I know. But so that night, was that sort of like the sort of, would you say the swan song sort of thing? And it was you sort of stopped going after doing that?
Not really. I did go to the odd night, but it's like going to nights every week and getting off your head and
different, innit?
Yeah. So calmed down a bit and pretty much got into following football again with lads who I went raving with, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always been us. We've always gone through eras of
music, football, and etc.
Young uns when we was young, do you know what I mean? 14 and that, taking trips together, 20 of us, do you know what I mean? And growing up, raving together then on the terraces together. And we're still good mates this day. We have kids and whatnot. Yeah.
So you got into the football and that, was this it where you sort of made the shift over?
Yeah, that's where I made the shift over, really.
What year, sort of, roughly?
2001, I was probably doing it at the time a bit. Well, don't get me wrong, I'd got into football with lads mid-90s too, but that sort of took a back seat.
So in 2000, would it have been David Moyes, Preston North End manager? at that time? There or thereabouts, surely.
Yeah, probably was good. I think it was 99, Moisey, to be honest. Craig Brown. Yeah, around that time, yeah. Around when was decent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm an Everton supporter, so we.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Tom Cannon at the moment. Brilliant, yeah. Good player.
Yeah.
But we'd always, our group of friends, we'd always like raving or going footy with the lads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's something as well that a lot of people don't understand is you can't really do both.
No.
Because you can't go to a Sunday game if you've been out all Saturday.
Yeah, I do go to football on Saturday now with CT, but I just tend to go to match and go home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say you could, but you couldn't essentially go to.
Oh no!
You could go Maxime's on a Saturday night and then turn up at is it Deepdale, is it?
Yeah,
you
could do that, but
wouldn't recommend.
No,
wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, so around 2001, proper got into it again, going football with lads.
Yeah.
I was going through a bit of a mad time, to be honest, where I was just drinking and getting on sesh, but not going to raves. And just fucking scrapping at football, really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was part of a unit and old mates, and we used to go with older lads. We used to go to different grounds and
For a scrap.
not necessarily for a scrap. It's like you was part of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
like a union almost.
Yeah, it was, and we'd meet in the morning. You'd wear the clobber, do you know what I mean? The best clothes, jump on train. At Deepdale, you'd meet certain pubs and you'd be together and you might have the odd scrap, do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain for people who've never been involved in it. I know people go, fucking hell, hooligan, idiot.
Yeah.
But it's not, until you've done it and been involved with it, it's like it's just one of them. It wasn't about the scrapping to an extent. It was about other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
following the football,
camaraderie,
the camaraderie, the football, the drinking with your mates, being a group. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
So music sat on the back burner for a few years. When did it sort of come back around for you?
It's always been there. I've always listened to the tapes and whatnot. I've had at that point I had my records in attic.
Right.
No, I have my records in my bedroom and my decks at my mum and dad's.
Yeah.
Met a girl. Ended up. She got pregnant. My first son.
Right.
He's 20 this year. So where's that?
Jesus.
2003. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
20.
We had a good relationship, to be honest. We had issues and I was just off the rails then.
Yeah.
I was scrapping, just off the rails, going out every weekend, drinking, not giving a fuck. Do you know what I mean? And and ended up getting a banning order.
Oh, really?
In 2003, for 5 years.
What was that from?
Violent disorder at Leeds United.
Right, and what's that? Is that all grounds? Is it?
That was all grounds in England and Wales, not Scotland, for some reason. I weren't allowed within a 3 mile radius of Deepdale on match days. Fuck me, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
And I used to have my passport in when England played. Well, it got to the. I was that in it.
Yeah.
And at one point, you'd get letters off. Say was playing like Burnley this weekend.
Yeah. You'd
get a letter sent through a few days before saying, off Burnley Football Club, it'd have the crest on it saying, "Listen, you've been identified as a risk supporter. we do not want you at our football ground
Oh God.
this weekend. So
Not like feeling welcome.
honestly, I'd be there like that, ironing my clothes like, and on a Saturday morning, bang at door. Like that. Right, Howard, you going out to the match today? Fucking Mariah van it middle of the road. Might do. Right, just letting you know we'll be out. Right, alright. Mum would be like, who's that? No one, Mum. Be there meeting at 10 in the morning.
Class.
So, yeah, it was
It was what it was.
When the thing is with me, right, if I get into something, I'm not doing it by halves.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to the extreme, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got into football with going with lads.
Yeah.
I was doing it to the extreme. So I got banned in 2003 and I was still going out
Right.
to a certain extent. You'd like go to certain areas with the football and stay out of the way of the police and whatnot. But obviously, it's sort you can't do it forever.
Yeah.
The main thing were I met my wife, who's my wife now,
Yeah.
and she basically calmed me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did. She just knew. She's never ever said to me, "Don't do that,"
Yeah.
or "We're not
Yeah.
together. Don't be doing this. You're not going there
Yeah.
because you're going to be doing this." She supports me in everything I do.
Yeah.
She's never been like, "Oh, right, if you go to there, we're done," or wherever. She's
Yeah.
always just been that strong rock for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Does that bring you down as well?
she's kept me at level.
Yeah.
I've been chucked out of my house with nothing, mate. Do you know what I mean? Mum and dad's have been like, right, that's it. Police are at door or whatever, and I've been chucked out. Lived on settees and whatnot. I've had nothing, mate. Clothes on my back, and I've just worked through years and got my own house, kids, nice car, and I needed that break from everything. And yeah.
So when did the music come back then? What?
Well, I've always gone to the odd Zone night. It would always be Zone.
Yeah.
Oh, the Zone are doing a night here at 53 degrees. Do you want to come? I'd always be like, I weren't really ready to get into that again at certain points. But I'd probably been to a few. It sounds wrong what I'm saying, really. I'd always go the odd rave every so often, but I'd always drink. Just have a few drinks and whatnot. I've never wanted to overstep that line and
do out daft.
Yeah. And getting on the proper session, going backwards. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, it's years and years of raving and then getting in trouble with police and having trouble. I worked out when my eldest lad was born, Jacob. I went through courts to see him, and
you don't want to fuck all that up just for the sake of a rave.
Yeah, Ed, you need to. Obviously, I've suffered with a bit of depression in the past. You know what I mean? So yeah, probably 2015. I went to a Zone night. I can't remember, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
But I've always had my vinyl still in the attic.
Yeah.
And I've always known that one day I will get that vinyl out.
Yeah.
My children, my youngest is 10 now. Obviously, having a house with my missus in certain parts, I've never had room for it really, and I've always known that I will get that vinyl out and start DJing again. And about 4 years ago, I said to Kim, I'm getting a controller.
Right.
What do you mean you're getting a controller? I said, you want to start DJing again? I'll just get a controller, small, compact. I don't need my vinyl out.
Yeah.
Easy, I'll crack on with it. Anyway, I started doing that. And then I said I'm going to get some Technics. I've got room for them now, so I ended up buying some Technics. I know, got all my vinyl out.
Yeah.
She don't mourn, do you know what I mean? But I never wanted to take the piss because I didn't have the room or the area to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but yeah. So I got a controller about 4 years ago, I think. That's when I got back into it again.
Right. And then, how did you find the music when? So obviously you do the Elation thing. That's more like a bounce brand, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, bounce and classics. What I always liked, what the late 90s of at Maxime Zone was that sound where Sam White started DJing there, and he was like bringing. He started playing like Welcome to Tomorrow, and stuff like that. He was slightly different. I thought,
tougher, isn't it?
I thought, you can drop that into them sets. So that, and then have you heard of Dougie Rascal?
Can't say.
You need to listen to his sets, mate. Anyway, he come to Zone and he started like dropping trance tracks,
right?
And like these amazing trance tracks, what no one had heard of, but they were amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it started going that way, and I think that's when sort of Maxine's went to bounce.
Yeah.
But when I got a controller, I started mixing a bit of old school, bit of Italian, and then I thought I want to play the sort of style what Rascal brought to Maxime's Zone. Do you know the odd Italian, then the trance track, stuff like that. Anyway, just one day I thought I'll start a SoundCloud and I'll
start posting your bits and stuff.
Start posting my bits, but I'll do it for a brand.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, right, what can I call it? Because for me personally, I see some events. I'm not taking. People have their own views, and I see some events, and I think, why are you calling it that? It's
Super
shit.
duper donk.
It's shit, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone to their own life.
No, but
I thought I wanted. I've always wanted music to be uplifting, and I thought, right, what's another word for ecstasy?
Yeah.
And I googled it, and that was it, mate. Elation,
and then that was born, eh?
That was born.
Was it born as like a CD brand to begin with?
Just a SoundCloud
mix,
brand, really, and
yeah.
nothing major.
Yeah.
I'd always kept in touch with Steve.
Yeah.
He'd been on my Facebook, obviously, and whatnot, and I started mixing a bit, putting a few mixes out as I would.
Yeah.
On SoundCloud, Elation. And I wrote a post on Facebook saying, I'd really like to put a festival on at Ashton Park, just over there.
Right.
Tents and DJ and that, who would I need to see, like? Anyway, Steve messaged me. Saying, do you want to put an event on? Can we put an event on if you want?
Yeah.
See, I knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
This was like 2020, this.
Right.
I knew absolutely nothing about events. I said, yeah, we can do. Not really thinking how it would come of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got talking about it, what we should do and what we should call it, and I said to him, what about this Elation? He said, yeah, it's good, that.
What's the ethos behind Elation then?
Elation, mate, I wanted it to be, we want it, and we're doing it slightly different.
Yeah.
Than, it's not your run-of-the-mill bounce night.
Yeah.
You'll get DJs. We have Ferky on. Do you know Ferky?
Yeah,
he's like
good DJ. Yeah.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
He'll play a track, a bounce track, and then he'll put a trancey type tuning as well. Do you know what
Yeah.
mix that in? Just something different. I want music. When I listen to music, I want it to be uplifting. I want people with their hands in their air. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it was about. Slightly different, not all out donk, not all out MCs. Yeah, we have MCs on, but it won't be tracks with no vocals in or anything uplifting with any melodies.
It complements the uplifting.
Yeah, it
music,
won't. It won't. It will be uplifting vocal bounce.
Yeah.
And the MC will MC with the DJ. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like we have like Avion. Do you know what I mean? He's brilliant. He's perfect for Elation because he MC. For me, him and like Dewey Master C, they feel the music.
Right.
They feel the music, and you can tell in when they MC, and they don't try and take over the music. Do you know, like some MCs do, and it's just the beats, the donk beats, and the MC, and yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense then. So you've went for this like uplifting brand. It's got like that throwback to the old school, but it at the same time quite fresh as well. So when was the first event then?
I'll just go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So me and Steve said, yeah, we'll put an event. Then this other guy, Danny Riley, messaged me out of nowhere saying, do you want to put an event on? I've got this venue.
Right.
So I messaged Steve and I said, Steve, someone else has messaged me. They've got a venue in Preston. Do you want to have a look? And blah, de blah. Yeah, sound. So there's this venue in Preston called Viva. Yeah. It's an old bingo hall.
It looks really good, isn't it?
Honestly, mate, it just reminds me so much of Maxime's.
Yeah.
I've asked Gary Hypnotic and John G when they've been there. I said, what's this club remind you of? They both said like Maxime's. Yeah. Just the layout and the way it is. So we went, Mate, I said, he said, I'm going to look at it tomorrow. I said, right, just give us a shout. Thought nothing of it really. So he sent us a video. I was like, fuck me, that's a fucking belting club, that. Yeah. But it's big, do you know what I mean? So I spoke with Steve. I said, do you want to club together? I know Danny's sound and whatnot. Yeah. So anyway, I think this was in lockdown, to be honest. We was going to do an event before lockdown had even come. Yeah. But lockdown
You've just badly timed it, haven't you, really, when you're starting the events,
Yeah, so with Elation, so we went, right, we'll put an event on. Was waiting for lockdown to sort of end. Yeah. September 25th, 2021 was the first event, and we had Pete Daly headlining. Yeah. And we set it all up, graphed and that, and was like, we opened at 10 on our first one. I was like, fuck me, we had a lot of fucking nightmare with sound. Yeah. And I remember Danny coming in saying, get music on, there's people coming in. I was fucking joking. Didn't expect. We'd sold tickets on Skiddle, we had. Yeah. But it weren't a massive turnout, but it was fucking good, mate. Do you know what I mean? For our first event, and it was good, and it really mirrored what we wanted
it to be.
So
you did this first one in the September 21. At that point, sort of, there was no restrictions. Everything sorted up and back up and everything.
The amount of messages we had. Do we have to wear a mask?
So, had you got the bug for it then?
Yeah, definitely.
After you've tasted it,
Steve's done countless events, you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously did foreplay with
everyone else.
With them, with Ricky, Sam, and PMB, and Andy Pendle. But I just got the bug for it, mate, and I was buzzing.
Yeah. Excellent, mate. So from there, you've sort of grown the brand, and it's sort of becoming its own thing, hasn't it? Really, it's like it's you always put on very thought out lineups. We talked off pod as well. Thought out lineups.
We do, mate. It does. There's hard work put into them lineups.
So when you put your lineup together, between you and Steve, are you just throwing ideas back and forth? Or?
Steve's generally the person. Sometimes he'll go, "What about this person?" I'll go, "Oh, I don't know," and he'll go, "No, listen, this," and he generally puts the lineups together.
Yeah,
because he knows a lot more artists than me, obviously.
Yeah.
And he gets the style right, the DJs, for what we want to put on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
he's obviously listening to them and seeing what they're about.
Yeah. But I suppose as we've gone on more, I've sort of get a bit more input into that, and
as you're discovering people talking.
We're so on the same level.
Yeah.
It's unreal, do you know what I mean? We know what needs doing, do you know what I mean, for the brand and how we want to portray it. That is the main thing. We both same level, how it wants to be portrayed, the sound we want to put out, the how it is, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
So since we're talking about it now, do you want to plug anything about it?
We've got an event Saturday, 22nd of April.
Right.
We've got some UV lights in as on top of everything lasers that we have.
No, I haven't. No, but I've seen the flyer for the UV.
Yeah, we have unreal lasers. It is good light.
Excellent.
We've got Bounce Assassins on.
Yep.
Which I think Bounce Assassins, they play the vocal. Fun tunes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not quite the trancey uplifting.
It's like quite more stompy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stompy, but they do play a lot of vocals. Like they've just done a remix of "Feel the Power."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's good remix, and them lads are probably the biggest duo in Bounce, to be honest. DJs. We've got Bounce Projects on.
Yep. And they're doing bits now, like.
Yeah, he's a great lad. That Lee,
I've only met him once.
I've never met him. Only through Messenger, but he's just a good lad, down to earth.
Yeah.
And just the way he comes across, he's not.
Yeah, there's no.
You know what I mean? He's made that tune and it's absolutely blown up on YouTube. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's 11 million plays or something like that.
It's crazy. He was on after me at Electric Super.
Was it?
3 weeks ago, yeah. And he came on with Hazel Eyes and they were all singing it back to him. And it was look.
It's a massive tune, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who else is on the lineup?
We've got Corruption Bounce from Bolton. Do you know them lads?
Who's the DJs and MCs?
DJ, it's I always get mixed up with these lads. Tom Jones, they call Tom Jones, CMD, Mackie, and Tucker, and the four lads from Bolton who've made a brand called Corruption Bounce.
Right.
And they started off at a pub in Bolton, putting nights on, and they went to Underground at Farnworth.
Yeah.
Then they tried doing an outdoor event. Council gone to them.
Yeah.
I think you might need to pull that out.
It's all right. It's all right.
They put on nights.
I've seen that.
Relax. That went under.
Yeah.
They put a night on recently at a place in. I forgot what it was called now. The Factory, and I went in Kenty. Headlined.
Yeah.
And they're very similar to us, them Corruption lads, down to earth, graft like fuck for the brand. Know what they want to do.
Right.
Sell the tickets, get the people in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're really good lads, and we've got them on as a four.
Excellent.
We also DJ with them at Restricted Forest. We do Secret Stage with Wes Sauce Art and all.
Yeah.
Restricted Forest. So Corruption lads DJ there and that.
Yeah.
We've got obviously us,
Yeah.
me, Steve,
Yeah.
Ferky, Wes P from
Yeah.
Bolton, a lad from Kirkham called Matt Bairn, really good DJ.
Right.
Who else? Rimo. Do you know Rimo from Salford?
No.
The
The name rings a bell when
Yeah.
I've heard it, but
Risa Arrowsmith from Bolton.
Yeah.
He's a great lad.
I've seen his name on it. He's been playing at Underground quite a bit, hasn't he? Recently?
Yeah, he does quite a bit of Maxime's as well. Like, we've got MCs, Avi, got Juicy on.
Yeah.
We clash with Sopranos that night.
Right.
So Master C's doing their night.
Right. Okay.
Long story.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so's Duffy. Yeah, it should be a good night, and with the club's been improved a bit. The sound system's even bigger.
Are you looking at going bigger and better this time, as you say, with your UV and that? Are you
Yeah, it's going to look mint. The UV, you've got to come and wear something that's white or whatever. Your place will be glowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It seems to be a lot of women come to our events, which is
Yeah, with the vocals, I love the vocals.
yeah,
That's what it is.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of like yeah, they love the vocal.
Excellent.
Dance music.
We're just going to move on to part 2 now, if that's all right. I think we
Yeah.
covered a lot of stuff there. This is more the interactive section for people who write questions in and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I haven't told you any beforehand, so it is on the spot, and you can just
Let's have a quick vape before then.
say what you will. As I said, there's nothing too out there. Mainly just it's always food stuff that people write in. They just know I've got a love for food, so just one of them. So the question section. If you've got a question for the podcast, just write into our Instagram page at It's Time to Refresh, or join the community group on Facebook, and you can put your questions in there as well. I've noticed a few people doing that, and I'll get them read out. If I think it's going to suit the guest, then I'll read it out. So question 1, if you had a superpower, what would it be? And that's from EJC.
Fly.
You can fly, just fly everywhere.
Just fly, yeah. I loved the superheroes when I was a kid, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my favourite was always like Superman or Spider-Man, but yeah.
Yes.
Fly would be good when it could do a lot with that.
I think flying would be brilliant,
Yeah.
but I was never a massive Superman guy. I was always
Was
a
you?
Batman or a Spider-Man.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved
and they can't
Spider-Man.
fly, so that's
Yeah.
not like. But flying's definitely up there. I'd like to. People always say like, I've got an obsession with time. So for me, it'd be like freeze time,
Yeah.
time travel, etc. And I just think I'd love to just
Go back.
go back and experience things that I missed out or I didn't appreciate the first time round.
Yeah.
So even if it was, but then
Or go back to when rave started or whatever.
Yeah. But I'm a massive like sci-fi nerd when it comes to it. So I've always got this thing. If I had the choice of this, when I read this, I thought about what I'd do. I can't do time because due to the laws of movies, certain movies and stuff, it's always like if you go back, you change time, and then when you come back, it's all different.
Yeah.
So if I could just be like a fly on the wall at some places, I'd love to be able to go back in time. Do you know where you just go and you just get to see the birth of the rave scene, the M25 raves, even go to Maxime's at the Zone, for instance, go to the venue.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, that.
I'd love to be able to go in time.
First Helter Skelter at Milton Keynes or something like that.
Yeah, just be the fly on the wall there and just get to see it all unfold. There's legendary stories of them getting raided by the police and then barricading the doors off and the decks getting flipped over. I've heard that one. I'd love to just experience all that and just get to see what it was. So I'd say time. You're going to say flying? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Flying's ideal though in a right here, right now situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be driving 200 plus mile every week for a podcast. I'd just nip up, fly away, down, backpack on, and that's it. Second question of the day is, hi Brad, if you were to release a track from your back catalogue on vinyl as an official release, what would it be and why? And that's from Zach C. Right, have you done any production or anything?
I've not, and I'm really itching to get into it, and it's just having the time and just that starting bit. I'm going to try and go to Kenny Hayes' studio soon and try and get the book for it.
Right,
Do you know
well,
what I mean?
obviously I do my research on my guests and stuff like that because I'm a proper professional. Right, on the way down here I was listening to a mix and there was It's an Illusion tune.
Right,
Who's
yeah.
that?
That's Ant Reynolds made that for me.
Right. See, I do my research.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard it.
And that voice is Steve Landy's daughter,
Right.
who runs Old School Anthems YouTube channel. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I will have seen that, yeah.
We used to do all live streams in lockdown together.
Right. So, and then she's recorded the voice and then you just made it into
and Reynolds made that. Yeah, he's had a few tracks on there, Bound 7 and Tidy Tracks, I think, yeah.
Right. So, I can't really say. Okay, if you could, I'll change the question slightly for you. Is there a tune that's out today that you'd love to have pressed on vinyl just to have, for instance? Is there a tune that's really caught your ear since you came back? While you have a think of that, I'll answer mine. I'd like to have my track Lifting Me Higher pressed on vinyl. Because I'm just going to plug it right now. Last week there was we released the remixes package of Lifting Me Higher on Chubby Tunes, which was the Bonley and Shiv remix and the ADF remix, two completely different remixes. One went for a more like rushy sounding track, what you would hear sort of like 4 AM in the morning at like a Sopranos gig or something like that, and then with ADFs, he's went for more scouse feel where it sounds like quite BCD-ish, big piano, lovely solid bass line. So go and check them out. I'm just going to plug that right there just because I can.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah. So if I was to get one pressed on vinyl, I would get my original and the
probably that Elation track what Ant made, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's Elation, isn't it?
Yeah. Just to go on the wall.
It's an idea, that. Actually.
Yeah. There you go. So that was from Zach C. Nice question. Thank you very much. Next section, what we do is we do Flop or Bop. Have you seen this?
No.
So Flop or Bop. I'm gonna read you 5 tunes, and you tell me if they're a flop, or a bop if you play them. So,
might not know them. Go on, cry on.
You will. These next 5 tunes are pretty big tunes. So this is Flop or Bop with Howard B. We'll jump straight in. Oh, by the way, if you've got any suggestions for tunes that you want in, as I say, you can just drop into the inbox as well. We've had a few good suggestions and a few terrible ones, but don't let that put you off. So first one today, Milk Ink in My Eyes, Flop or Bop?
Bop.
I'll say Bop as well. I think that's a banger. Is it the DJ Philip remix? Is it that's called? Everyone plays. I love that.
I don't even know. I had it on White Label when it first come out.
Great tune.
They started playing that at Zone at Maxime's.
Great tune. Pulp, Common People, Flop or Bop?
Bop, because my mate NT used to sing it on karaoke. It was just good. He was good at it. It's not my really.
Your jam. No,
I wouldn't really listen to it, but it's. I can see the appeal.
I'm gonna say Bop as well. I think it's an absolute banger. It's a bit different, as you say, but it is a banger nonetheless. Toto Africa.
Sing it to me. Go on.
No, I can't sing that song. I'm not gonna sing it because it's embarrassing.
Is it a trance tune, that, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's 80s tune actually. No, you don't know this one. I'm gonna say
I will know it.
Bop. It's the rain down in Africa.
Oh, it's a tune, that, yeah.
Bob, you knew that, and you just made me sing that. I was really not wanting to sing that there.
Everyone's sung that in Care, haven't they?
Yeah,
Snoop.
it's one of them where I don't like it musically, but it's just such a good tune. Yeah, I'm gonna say bop to that as well. Prodigy, Your Love.
Bop.
Absolute bop.
Unreal, aren't they?
Fantastic track as well. Best B-side ever.
Yeah.
Out of anything ever. Your Love is such a good tune. The piano, so much energy in it as well. And the last one for today, Styles and Breeze, You're My Angel.
Bop.
What's your favourite mix?
I don't know him, to be honest, mate. Go on, which one? Sing it to me again.
No, I'm not going to sing it again. I'm not singing it again.
My favourite. What they've done.
My favourite mix of it is, I don't know. I never really liked Scott Brown's version, if I must say, but there was some really good versions of it. Scott Brown's one of my favourite hardcore DJs, if not my favourite, but I never liked his mix of it. So, I don't know. It's such a good tune.
There is some tunes what I think should never be remixed.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people, and I love it when I'm pleasantly surprised by a remix. Yeah. When you think, oh God,
it's got to be it's got to be so good though, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't like these ones that everyone seems to be doing, where it's you're doing your remix and it sounds just like a beefed up version of the original. They're not changing anything about it. Yeah, it's a bit lazy.
Bollocks.
Yeah, it's a bit lazy. But yeah, and sort of the last section of today before we get into your meal is unpopular opinions. So these are what people have wrote in the group. This is from Sean Buxton, and it's Heaven's Cry, Till Tears Do Us Part. Fucking awful. Would you agree? I'm not singing it.
No, it's a good tune.
Do you like it? Yeah. I think it's been hammered and over remixed and overplayed, but sorry, Sean, I have to disagree with you. I think
there's so many remixes of it in there.
Yeah.
We've added what's it on it? Vocals.
Number one. Did someone bootlegged it and put number one over the top of it?
Was it?
Yeah. Nobody else tonight. John Tune. You're gonna be my crazy love. I never let you down. There you go. Have some of them vocals. I think I can see why people hate it because it's been hammered so much.
No, I like it, mate.
But that Flash Harry remix is unbelievable. So even still now, it still stands up as the best mix. I like there was one. Do you follow like hard dancing that much? So.
No.
Yeah. Well, there was the Laminators, if you've heard of them. They did a remix of it. It's different. It's like 8-bit and stuff. It's really good. I like their mix of it. So I'm sorry, Sean, but I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. Heaven's Cry is a pretty good tune.
Yeah, it's played. The people love it.
And the last one for today is using the M1 organ for drops is boring, and that's from Dom Murter.
What's that sound?
I'm not making that sound. Yeah, I'm not making it. You know exactly what it is. But yeah, in fact, I'll just tell you, it's Show Me Love, basically, the drop of Show Me Love. You know it. What do you reckon of the organ drop? Like it, or...
Yeah.
Do you think it's hammered at all?
There's a lot of stuff hammered, isn't there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like organ drops, if I'm honest, but I like them when they're produced correctly, where it doesn't sound like just like a little tin thing being hit. Do you know what I mean? It needs to have a nice like bit of beef behind it. I can understand where Dom's coming from though. I'm gonna get this so wrong if I'm and I apologise in advance if I'm wrong. Dom Murter, I'm sure it isn't a one half DVB Productions.
Who is it?
Dom Murter. Could be wrong. I apologise if I'm wrong. Sure. Yeah. You hear the M1 organ so much over the years. In modern house music, it's been hammered. but it works. So I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? If you can be creative with stuff that's been hammered,
Yeah.
go for it. Go for it.
There's some good producers out there now, do you know what I mean?
Who's catching your eye at the minute then? Like, would you say? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but even if you give me one or two names, whose stuff are you playing?
Always KB project, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remixes and whatnot. That Drake Liddell seems to be putting some really good tunes out at the moment. It's not really my style with that.
Don't Drop, yeah.
Don't Drop.
Well, he was on a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And I said to him on the podcast as well, I said, you seem to be doing really well with what you do, and I love the trance thing and stuff, but the drops just ain't for me. That's simply what it is.
I don't. Yeah, he seems to be doing. I wouldn't play stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he seems to be.
Yeah.
That Don't Drop is not me, like.
Well, he sent me a version of his. He did a track called Shamed a couple of years ago now, and it's got that Don't Drop in it, but he's did a version with John G where it's just when it kicks in, it's a trance melody. It's pretty good. I'd probably play it. So yeah, that's.
Bounce Assassins, they're putting some good tunes out really, some good remixes, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lee Pollitt's good, isn't he?
Yeah, is this the sort of stuff you're playing at the minute then, would you say? Is this what's featuring in your sets? Sorry.
The Rye.
The Rye. I've heard that name.
Yeah.
Where's that? The Rye, where have I heard that name?
Does a lot on Bounce 7 Digital.
Right. Maybe that's where I've seen it. Apologies, The Rye, if you're watching them. I just don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any of the tunes.
Yeah, there's some good ones, isn't there?
I've come across a producer. I've been playing his stuff for a while. In fact, I hammered one of his tunes in almost every set last year. He did a remix of The Key, The Secret, and it's catchy.
Right.
Have you heard his stuff before? Catchy.
No,
he's on a few bits on Cheeky Tracks and a few bits on Bounce Heaven.
Right.
And I've been hearing stuff, and he's
What's he called?
catchy. It's really good.
Yeah.
Some really good trance
tune? Yeah, I play one of them tunes.
He honestly
Catchy.
seems like
I'm not the best, mate, right?
with names and
tunes
stuff.
names.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of. I've played quite a lot of his. He did Waiting in Asia as well. If you know that. Do you know it's Heart of Asia by Watergate and Waiting for Tonight by I'm gonna get this wrong, but Jennifer Lopez, I believe.
Right.
And it's the famous matchup.
That catches.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of his tunes like.
He's one that's
what's it
standing out for
called?
me at the minute.
Yeah. With that trance style.
Yeah. I'm loving what ADF's doing. That's why I asked him to remix. I think
ADF, yeah.
He's a nice lad as well.
Because you're like asking me now. Once you go, I'll be like that.
So and so.
ADF, yeah.
I'm always supporting Ben's stuff. Bon Lee, Bad Behaviour.
I like Ben a lot. He's
really nice lad.
He's a really good lad, yeah.
I was just on the phone to him before I come in.
Was he?
Yeah. We're going
Which
to
one?
What?
Bon or which American Ben or
English? Well, we're going to.
Hey there, Brad.
We're going to watch wrestling. Yeah. So in August.
Right.
And I'm sure the American Bon will come out at that point when the announcers and that and they're all speaking American. I'm sure he'll come out at some point.
Yeah, he's a great lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know him a lot, like.
Yeah.
What I've seen of him and when I've spoke to him.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Very restricted. He's a really good lad. Do you know what I mean? And
he's doing some. I support a lot of his tunes because I think they're very much what I like. Do you know what I mean? Who else is there that's sticking out in my mind at the minute? I'm gonna. Somebody's watching this now, going, "You fucking dick! Why have you not mentioned me?"
I know, yeah.
But like, there is.
It's hard when you want
there's
Scott,
quite
yeah.
a lot of names kicking around at the minute where it's the scene. The scene feels quite healthy at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously you've got like. I like what Fitzy and Rossi B do.
They're
stuff's
good, yeah.
always good. Kenny's stuff's. There's some stuff of Kenny's that I'm not keen on.
Right.
But I'm not sure why that is. But the majority of the time, his stuff is there's nobody in the scene can touch him. Do you know
On
what I mean?
point, yeah.
He's really, really.
That's why I need to see him. Do you know what I mean? Go to
Yeah.
it and get. I know once I get the bug, I'll be able to do it, and
Yeah.
not able to do it, but want to do it and want to learn. And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's not easy producing, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've got stuff in my head.
Yeah. And you just want the ideas down.
Yeah, and it's just there, and it's
Yeah. What I'd suggest is, I've talked to a lot of people where they go, I've got ideas and I want to produce music, but I just don't know how to do it. Right? Is every idea you've got now, get it noted down somewhere, because they will disappear.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you'll get to the point where you've figured out how it all works and the production side of it,
And you've no idea.
and you're sitting there with an empty head.
Yeah.
And if you've wrote all them ideas down,
Yeah,
you're thinking,
I've been writing them in
yeah.
WhatsApp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can WhatsApp yourself, you know. You know, like,
I message myself on Facebook all the time just because it's easy to write
taking
notes.
notes.
Yeah, if
I'm
get
forever taking notes on WhatsApp, WhatsApping myself on taking notes, yeah.
a voice note myself if I think of something. It's
I
always
don't
when I'm
go
like
that
at the weirdest time. It's like if I'm out shopping, right, and I get like an idea for a melody, I'll just keep recording.
Coming in.
Yeah.
I did that the other day, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing listening back to it.
Yeah,
but
no,
I
but
don't want
you
to use
need-
it.
I've had melodies so in my head and thought, wow, that could really, I've never heard that before, and then about 10 seconds later it's gone.
Exactly. Or like I've heard a tune where I've been sort of out and about doing something, and I've had to write the name of the tune down and what I liked about it. Or like, I like that synth that's there in this track, or I like the bridge in this part of it, and
Yeah.
like get that written down. Because if I don't, I'll be like, I'll sit there at the computer later on and I'll be like,
I remember that, and then
Fuck.
you don't know it.
fuck, I don't know, I can't remember what I was even thinking at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so before we tied today up, mate, as I asked everybody, you're about to get the electric chair because you've went to a Preston game when you were banned, and they thought, fuck, we just can't be asked keeping an eye on him anymore because it's just hard work, so they're putting you on the electric chair and doing away with you instead. So you get one more meal, and what is that meal? You can have a starter, main, dessert and a beverage. What are you going to have?
Starter's got to be garlic mushrooms on it.
No, because mushrooms like taste like shit. But
Do they? Yeah.
if that's
It's got to be garlic mushrooms or something like
it's all right so far. Keep going.
that. Yeah.
Are you a big foodie?
I like food,
Yeah,
obviously.
Right. So is this? Are you thinking out in your head now? Oh, what's the possibilities? Or are you struggling to think of something?
No, I could think of the main.
Yeah, go on.
It's got to be a mixed grill on it.
Mixed grill. What's your essentials for a mixed grill?
Steak, lamb chops, gammon,
Right.
pork chops. Some people say you're not meant to have chicken on it, don't they?
I'd rather have chicken, like a nice good bit of, like a grilled bit of chicken, or like something like that, rather than the lamb. If I'm honest
Yeah,
with you.
would you?
Yeah, but yeah, chicken. I don't see a problem with it.
You've got to have half a grilled tomato, even though you're not going to eat it.
I don't have tomato either. Tomato and mushrooms are my
Onion rings.
essential.
Lord, listen, I know it's a big mixed grill, but this handful of chips, no, you need loads of chips as well.
Yeah,
And this mixed grill, you've only just got to be able to eat it.
yeah.
None of this. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, you want to be like going, fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We talked off pod before we started, and you said you're coming up to Electric Soup at some point for
Yeah.
Anthems.
Madison's versus
Madison's-
Anthem Nation, yeah.
yeah, Madison's versus Anthem Nation, right? When you're up there,
Yeah.
if you're going to go for food, there's a place called the Wild Duck, right? It's just
Yeah.
a middle of nowhere pub, right? But they do a surf and turf mixed grill there, right? And I'm not joking yet, it's the best one I've ever had in my life.
Will I be able to move after it?
No.
Well, Rimo, who's probably coming with me, he's DJing that night. He's like 6'6" and built like a big shit house.
Yeah.
He can eat one as well, eh?
I'm not joking. You get everything that you've described there, but your surf is you get lobster pieces and
Nice.
scampi,
Really?
right? and that's just the one plate. That's all your meats in that.
Yeah.
Right. And they come out with a big tray like that. Like them, like oval-ish shaped tray full of chips, piled, mounted. It's like.
How much is that then? Not
it's a little bit it's more on the expensive side, but I mean you pay for what you get.
Pay for.
Yeah,
I'm always like that, me, mate.
Yeah, it'll be maybe the mid-20s, something like that. Maybe
That's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, for what you get,
it'd be like
quite...
50 quid and you get it free if you eat it.
No, it's not that type of thing. But honestly, proper pub grub as well.
Yeah,
whole
class.
cooked chips.
That's what you want.
And they never like overcook your steak, right? It's always just right.
Yeah,
medium. So yeah, I hope I get a sponsorship deal off that. I went to another place talking about mixed grills. I ordered the mixed grill from there the other day. The Surf and Turf mixed grill. I'm not going to say where it is because the one I've been backing, and I know for a fact that one of the girls who works there, so watches this, and if they've made it this far in,
she'll be slating you now, won't she?
Yeah, she'll know what it is when I've said it as well, because she should be ashamed of yourselves. I've got the Surf and Turf, and it came, and it was like tried to make it was like gourmet food. You know, the pile of food up. So I had there was a beef steak on the bottom, and then they had two tiger prawns on top of the steak, and chips, and that was their idea of a Surf and Turf.
What? So it's one of them a la carte.
Yeah.
All right for southerners, mate, not for northerners.
Yeah, and I got it, and I was like, "Where's the rest?" Like, no.
I'm ordering a mixed grill because I'm a barbarian, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry and I want to eat meat.
Yeah.
I'm not ordering mixed grill because it's
served like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take an hour to eat this shit.
Yeah.
You want it?
And I was a bit disappointed, but yeah. I ate it and I left hungry. You don't want to do that with a mixed grill.
That's like McDonald's, isn't it? You have a McDonald's and you're like...
Tastes nice, though.
Yeah, that's why I always get wrap of the day as well.
Yeah, I do. Wrap of the day, class.
Yeah.
So go on then, what are you getting for your dessert?
There's various options, isn't there?
So many. You can have two if you want. It's your last meal, so go out with a bang.
It's got to be like sticky toffee pudding.
Nice. Cream, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, no worries.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's got to be like a
big portion.
No, yeah, it's warm.
Yeah. Oh, you've got it's
toffee
be,
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. And to wash it down, what are you having? Doesn't need to be alcoholic, by the way. You get anything you want.
If it were alcoholic, it'd be cherry Pepsi Max.
Do you know when you can just go off people?
What are you, Coke?
I don't like. I prefer Coke over Pepsi, but cherry's just. Oh.
No, yeah, it's got to be cherry. Yeah.
No.
Or if it was a beer, nowadays it'd probably be a Coors.
Right.
But I do like an ale. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went for a meal the other week with work, and someone said, "Do you want drinks?" Yeah, go on then. I was looking. It was a Wainwright's Golden.
Yeah.
And I'll have one of them, and it was
nice,
it was nice, mate.
Yeah, they are nice.
But I like fruit cider and stuff, but I will not drink cider.
You can't.
Because it brings back too many memories from being a youth. You know what I mean?
It's not that. I think it sits on you a bit differently as well. Like, I feel like I get heartburn on that off when I have the fruit ciders. Although they are nice, don't get me wrong.
Fruit ciders, 10 in, and you.
Yeah. What's your go-to fruit cider?
Copperberg, or is it that old malt?
Yeah. Well, they're nice.
That's quite nice, yeah.
Yeah, I went through a stage of going through the strawberry record leagues. They but then I was getting too much heartburn.
Yeah, they're quite nice, but you're walking home and you're like dying because you've got heartburn. But...
Yeah. So we're just going to wrap up today, mate. Where can people find you?
I've got a Facebook page.
Yep.
DJ Howard B.
Yep.
Elation. Follow our Elation page. Join the group Elation.
Yeah.
Also, Old School Anthems Facebook group. That's quite big.
Yep.
In there, that's Steve Landy runs that.
Yep.
Yeah. But obviously, get to Elation. I think it's the club and the event is mint. Obviously, people don't know about the event.
Yeah.
Some people don't know about it, obviously, but people don't know about the venue.
Yeah.
I think people tend to go, oh, that's not Pure. I'll go to Pure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Come to Elation, come to Riva. These venues aren't going to be around forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not.
Yeah.
But over the years, how many nightclubs have gone?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maxime's is apartments now.
Yeah.
Monroe's got burnt down, I think.
Yeah.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's a car park now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know Pure's the mecca for bounce and that, but
Yeah. So
venture out and get to Preston.
if you like that 10-minute advert that we did for the Elation night, where we went through the lineup and everything like that, and it sounds like something that's your cup of tea, if you like the uplift and stuff, if you like the MCs that we listed, then get yourself along to an Elation night. As I say, if it's something,
The thing with Elation as well, it's tenner a ticket.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's cheap.
Yeah.
And the lineups that we put on are not cheap. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So there's plenty of other events similar to ours charging double and more. Do you know what I mean? So
And listen, if you're a single lad as well, listen to what he said earlier.
Honestly,
There's loads of birds.
I'm looking at Skiddle there and I'm like,
Female.
yeah, they love it. Vocal uplifting bounce. It's the one, mate.
Excellent, mate.
And there's never any trouble. It's a brilliant. Everyone just gets along and then that's what we love. Do you know what I mean?
Good crack. It's good crack, mate. As I said, I just want to say thank you for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed,
I probably could go on for the stuff in there what I've not even said. Do you know what I mean? But
no doubt you will be a return guest. I can.
Yeah.
Generally, you just hit it off with someone, and it's what it is. What it is. I think you'll be.
We might do a joint with the other half of Elation, Stephen J.
Go for it. More than up for that, definitely. As I say, if go and follow the Elation page and stuff like that. If it sounds like it's something you'd enjoy, then just go for it. I was intrigued when I first seen them lineups, and I thought, oh, that's a bit different. And as you say, you get to see there's a bit of spirit and a bit of something about them, and as I say, you're onto good things with that, I think, personally. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then go and share it with your mates. It's how we grow. I say this every episode, just you sharing that could reach one person that we couldn't, and that's how we get our organic growth. It just keeps going up and up and up. I was checking the stats the other day. Across YouTube and Spotify, I think we've just hit 200,000 views.
Nice.
So people are sharing it, and it's the same face every week I'm seeing sharing it. And I am massively appreciative of that. If you haven't checked out our Patreon specials, there is now 3 new episodes up there. We've got one with DJ Hectic, we've got one with General Bounce, and one with Simon Kennedy. So go and check them out. That's at patreon.com/itstimetoriffresh. £3 a month, you won't notice it going out your bank. Thanks for listening.